chosen ones, you have to understand that a lot of people are mentally still in high school. A lot of people mentally have not matured past, ninth grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. It was like they hit their peak, they found their peak, and they just stopped growing. You have to understand that. And because a lot of times as a chosen one, you were the black sheep, you were the late bloomer, you know, whatever is specific to your case, you had a different approach to your development. It may have taken you a little bit longer, a little bit different, you know, which is cool. But through that, it developed your character. Through that, it developed your personality. Through that, you learned who you were. Through the trials and tribulations that were handed to you, you learned. You not getting picked first, you learned how to have self-confidence. And a lot of these people peaked and they stopped growing, they stopped learning, they stopped developing. Like I said, but for you, you were forced into the position to keep growing. Like I say it like this: it's the pretty girl syndrome. Why a lot of pretty girls are perceived to be not intelligent, and that's because their mental development stopped at a point where their attractiveness did not allow for their mental development to continue. It was no point. The certain accesses in life that she was granted from her being pretty or attractive outweighed the things that was going to be granted to her through intelligence. Meaning, boys, gifts, attention was granted to her at a young age due to her prettiness, not from her intelligence. So because of that, the intelligence was not a factor for her to mature in. Her personality was not a factor for her to mature in. It stopped right there. So if she became attractive and pretty and popular and all this at 10th grade, guess what? That's where her level and base is. 10th grade. It did not grow anymore. That's why you have girls who's 25, 35, 45, 55, who might be pretty, might have been pretty. Guess what? They're stuck in that 10th grade mindset. Why? Because they have arrested development and they have not been forced to grow past that dopamine hit of them being attractive or that attention that they received. And this goes just for the football player as well too. The star jock who was the star in 10th grade, played varsity, 9th grade, played varsity, had all the girls, had all the popularity, whoop, whoop, whoop. He was not forced to develop character. He was not forced to develop intelligence. He was not forced to. A lot of people get that big dopamine hit from video games, this, whatever the case may be. They may find that and they don't develop anymore past somewhere in high school. So because they're not forced to grow, they're not forced to become more, they're not forced to become better, that's where they stay. But because you've had to take the longer road, you had to take the longer path because you weren't picked first, you had to develop even more. And now through this development, you have more character. So you didn't stay stuck in high school. You kept developing, you kept growing, you kept becoming more and more and more and better, more mature, wiser, more intelligent. Because life forced you to. So now when you look around, there's no one for you to relate to. You look around and you say, who do I relate to? It's hard for you to relate to people. Why? Because you're on a different level. It took you longer to become who you are now. Again, it took you longer. But it's just like a butterfly, You stayed longer in that cocoon, but because you stayed longer in that cocoon, you come out more beautiful than one that was just in there for 2 minutes and pops right out. They're not developed properly. So you have to understand why a lot of people are not on your level. You have to understand why you're different than a lot of other people. It's because a lot of these people are mentally still in high school. They didn't grow up. They have arrested development. They weren't forced to become more. And that's why you can't relate. That's why, because your mindsets is two different ones. It's It's like you have the mindset and the intellectual capabilities of a 30, 40, 50-year old, and they're still stuck in a child's body. Anyways, this is Rich. I appreciate y'all for listening. I hope this can help somebody. Y'all be safe. Love and blessings.